As a lifelong diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, I am ashamed of what my quarterback Dak Prescott said about the world champion Philadelphia Eagles today. As a Cowboy fan, I am horrified by what Dak Prescott said about the Eagles today. And I'm here to book it, to guarantee that next year the Philadelphia Eagles will romp and stomp my Dallas Cowboys just the way they annihilated and humiliated the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl we all just watched. Dak, how can you have the delusional audacity to say what you said today about the Eagles? How can you have the just false bravado to say, yeah, we're going to beat them because we've been beating them? Dak, help me out here. I'm reading these statements. I watched your video of what you said at your charity event. I feel like you said we compete with the Eagles and we beat them. Well, once upon a time, you did. But like your owner, you're living in the past. Then you went on to say, we're very close. I feel confident we've gotten the better part of the Eagles each and every time we've played the Eagles. You said that today, Dak. You haven't played these Eagles. You didn't play in either game this year against these Eagles. And you threw in Washington. And you said you watched the NFC Championship game. Yeah, we can beat Philadelphia. We've beaten them, and we've been beating Washington. Yeah, you have once upon a time. Yeah, I'm looking at your record. You're 9-4 lifetime against Philadelphia, but you didn't play against Philadelphia this year. You're 11-2 lifetime against Washington, but you didn't play against Jaden Daniels either time this year. What are you talking about, Dak? These Eagles are Howie Roseman's masterpiece. They have Howie Roseman, the executive of the century. He did the greatest offseason job through free agency and through the draft and through the coaching hires we have ever seen any GM do. He did a number on the Philadelphia Eagles, as in Super Bowl, 59 number. He ran rings, as in Super Bowl rings, around your GM and your owner, Jerry Jones, who made you for a second time the highest paid player in all of pro football. You're 2-5 in the playoffs. You're not half the quarterback in the postseason that Jalen Hurts is. It hurts me to admit it to your face, Dak, but you're just not. Duck Prescott, that's what you are to me. I mean, come on. Dak, you haven't played these Eagles. Did you watch? You haven't played Saquon with Becton opening holes for him. That's the best offensive line in pro football. And he was the best running back in pro football, and you didn't face him either time because, once again, you got hurt. You're going to play next year at 32, and it feels like you're 42. It feels like you're already washed. You're broken down, falling apart quarterback. Tore your hamstring up at Atlanta. Dak, this past year, well, let me go back to the playoff game. Look what I've got. Look what they've got. Help me out here, Dak. Have you played against this Eagles defense? No. It was the best defense in pro football, and I called it from the start. I called it in August, going to be the best defense, because look at what Howie Roseman did. You've got Howdy Doody as your GM. Come on. Look what they went out and got. Look at their draft. You haven't played against Quinyon Mitchell. He started to look like, at the end of the year, the best cornerback in pro football, and Howie drafted him in the first round. You haven't played against Cooper DeJean. I'll help you out here. Quinyon wears number 27. Cooper DeJean wears 33. All he did was pick six Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Did you watch Jalen Hunt in the Super Bowl, their third-round pick? So I just gave you first round, second round, third round. Jalen Hunt, they stole him in the third round out of some little Christian school in Houston. They stole him. He was all over Mahomes all day long in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hunt, number 58. You're going to see him in your nightmares for the next, I don't know how long you're going to be my quarterback, probably for the next 15 years. You're going to see Jalen Hunt. He's going to be flying around the corner right in your grill, Dak. He's a stud. They got studs everywhere. What a number he did. He went and got Zach Bond. You haven't played against Zach Bond. He was first team All-Pro thanks to Howie Roseman this year. First team All-Pro. They brought back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You have played against him, and he has haunted you before, and he's back in their secondary. But those kids made it. Those are two of the best cover corners. They were rookies. They turned around a defense. Vic Fangio has had your number every time. Remember when he was the head coach in Denver? You were down, what was it, like 27-0 in the fourth quarter at home against Denver with Vic doing a defensive number on you with his game plan? And speaking of 27-0, Dak, the last time I saw you in a playoff game, it was at home a year ago against Green Bay, and you were down 27-0 before halftime. You lost 48-32 with a bunch of Mahomesian garbage yards in the fourth quarter and garbage points, just like Mahomes had in the Super Bowl. Then the next time I saw you was the home opener, Dak, this year. This year you played in the home opener against New Orleans. It was a complete, it was 44-19. It was over by halftime, and you were the starting quarterback. And then here came Baltimore, and it was over by halftime. And then here came Detroit, and it was over by halftime, and it ended up 47-9 with you as the starting quarterback, Dak. And you have the audacity to be taking shots at the Eagles before they even have their victory parade on Valentine's Day Friday? What are you thinking? You went 3-5 as my starting quarterback this year, and you're talking big and bad? Why would you poke the biggest, baddest bear on the NFL block right now? The Eagles defense. Do you realize in the Super Bowl, it was 34-0 with 2:40 left in the third quarter. And at that point, Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback ever, or so I'm told, had 53 yards passing. With 2:40 left in the third quarter, it was 34-0. Biggest, baddest bear on the block. Why would you piss off the Eagles before Valentine's Day parade? Why would you allow them to already mentally circle both the Cowboy game dates next year and say, we're going to take care of those guys? Because they are now. Because you spoke out and you made the incredibly wrong-headed statement, I don't want to say check the record when they're the guys holding the trophy. Well, that's what you said. That's exactly what you said. Check the record. The record, no matter, it no longer matters. It's over and done. These are the new Philadelphia Eagles thanks to Howie Roseman. What are you thinking about? You didn't play Washington either time this year. You haven't faced Jaden Daniels yet. Yeah, we stole that game at Washington. And remember what was going on at that point? Jaden had, they may have been cracked ribs, but he definitely had bruised ribs. And he was in a little bit of a midseason slump. And they lost that day at home. And it was the wackiest, kookiest, nuttiest game of the NFL year. And I still don't know how we pulled it off. Because that day, Cooper Rush's offense, you didn't play, I'm not blaming you for this, but Cooper Rush's offense went 2 for 11 and we somehow on third down. 2 for 11 on third down and we somehow won the game, Dak. 2 for 11. We scored 24 points in the fourth quarter by ways I could not have imagined to steal the game 34-26. They had 412 total yards, did Jaden Daniels' offense, 412 against our 332. And Jaden hit the big pass near the end of the game. All they had to do is kick the extra point, and Austin Seibert missed it. Remember that? Or it would have forced overtime, and then we returned the kickoff on the onside for a touchdown. It was complete insanity. And you're talking big and bad about how you've owned Washington. You don't anymore. Trust me. Our defensive coordinator, who probably should have been our head coach, is now their head coach, Dan Quinn, and they got it rolling. They have a new owner. They have stability at the top. I'll just book this. We're going to lose to Washington twice next year. You can just guarantee it. Take it to the bank. We're going to lose twice to Washington, and we're going to lose twice to Philadelphia because Dak's talking about how we own them. What are you doing, man? Just keep your head down and go back to work. Just tip your cap to them. Congratulate them. Don't poke them. Don't antagonize them. Don't ignite them, reignite them. That's all they needed for next year. It's so hard to repeat. And now you've relit their fire before their victory parade. What are you talking about? You ended up your remarks today by saying, it's our turn, it's on us. Like the ball's back in your court, watch this. Watch what? What do we have? I love CeeDee Lamb. You should love CeeDee Lamb, even though you two clash. And I don't think he or his mom have a whole lot of respect for you, Dak. But at least you have him. You have no running game. Your offensive line was falling apart. Zach Martin's going to retire. You know it, and I know it. You're not going to be protected the way you were. You can't move at all anymore. You used to be able to move a little bit. Heck, you were an option quarterback at Mississippi State. And now at 32, you're just a broken down wreck of a stationary, statuesque pocket passer. I don't know. Maybe we draft Ashton Genty. I don't know. I don't trust Jerry to do anything anymore. And our defense, it's got holes everywhere. Their defense has no holes. What are you doing to us, Dak? You just made it so much harder. Our degree of difficulty just went up because your video will go viral of your remarks. Yeah, you are the highest paid cowboy by far. You're Jerry's guy. I got it. You gotta speak up and speak out. Speak that party line for old Jerry, because he made you rich. You make me sick, man. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're not a nice guy or a good guy, because you are. But when it comes to playing quarterback and leading a football team, you ain't no Jalen Hurts. And it hurts me so bad to have to publicly admit that.